Okay. So guys, am I audible and visible? Let's start with good morning, one and all. Audio visual first, and after which we'll get started with your session. Okay. So guys, is the audio visual clear to everyone? Is the audio visual clear to everyone? Let's. Okay, great. So, all right, guys. So let us get started with this. So, good morning, guys. Good morning, one and all. This is Anupam Mishra here. Uh, and I'll give you a brief introduction about myself, but just a little bit of context here. So yeah, so your sessions for the Hindu article analysis were used to be taken by Abhilasha ma'am, right? But she's not well, and hence for the next upcoming few days, I'm gonna pitch in and then take you to ensure that we do not break this consistency of analyzing your Hindu article. Right, so that's what this is about, and I'll start with a brief introduction about myself, and then we'll start moving on to the passage for the day, the article that we're going to be analyzing for the day. So, guys, I'm Anupam Mishra from the batch of 2018. I'm Lucknow. These are my CAT credentials. I've worked as a verbal as well as a quant faculty and many institutes, and I've also worked with brands like Hotstar and UNICEF and etc. Right, so yeah, so that's about me. You can read up more about me on my profile. Okay. Prasanna, good morning. So we'll get started with you know something. We'll get started with something with a device, with a tool that I want to take you through before we start going through the passages, so which I call the reading sieve. So assuming the audio, visual, and everything is clear. So, guys, see, whenever you're reading a passage, whenever you're trying to analyze an article, right? You're going through a text. Basically, it's there's something called critical reading, and there is something called passive reading, right? Passive reading is when you just when you're not really very conscious of what are the facts, what are the opinions, which points. You're not really very involved in the reading process, right? That's what is called passive reading. And critical reading, on the other hand, is when you're actually involved, when you're actually almost engrossed in the article or the passage, that whatever you're reading. At the same time, what are the facts that have been mentioned by the passage, by mentioned by the author in the passage? What are the let's say, what opinions has the author put forth? What opinions of his does the author put forth, right? As you can see, I've pointed out here. What are the authors with opinions? Why sometimes the author in the article also talks about you know uh, opinions of other subjects or other people or institutes, so you should also be mindful of those opinion source one, opinion source two, three, four, etc., etc. And moreover, most importantly, you should obviously know what is the context in which the article is being discussed, right? What's the context in which the article is being discussed? So yeah, so that's basically about the reading save. We'll have a more detailed discussion on this. Once we start, in one of our theory sessions. Right now, I just want to focus on what you guys usually focus on in these sessions, right? Which is the article, and we're gonna go ahead with that. Okay. So, okay. So, guys, the article is on your screen. This article pertains to, what do you say? Uh, the Nobel Prize that has been awarded in the last week, that was awarded in the last week to three scientists, right? And for the discovery, for their work relating to the to black hole, right? Relating to black hole. So let's go through the article and start with the uh, discussion after that. Okay. So first, Three scientists. So we are starting with the passage. Okay? So see, by the way, these boxes that I've put here are basically. I'll tell you about them once we have read the paragraphs. I'll tell you what we are supposed to do with these boxes, right? So let's start. Three scientists won this year's Nobel Prize in Physics on Tuesday for advancing our understanding of black holes, the all-consuming monsters that lurk in the darkest parts of the universe. Briton Roger Penrose received half of this year's prize. German Reinhard Genzel and American Andrea Ghez received the second half of the prize. The prize celebrates one of the most exotic objects in the universe, black holes. Okay, and which have big science fiction and where time seems to stand still, according to the committee. Where time seems to stand still, according to the committee. So, guys, see, whenever you're reading an article, it's not just it's important to obviously read at a good pace, but it is also important to keep track and keep note of what are the main points that have been mentioned in every paragraph, right? And it doesn't down everything and you do it in a very extensive manner. Just having a couple of words, just trying to peg whatever idea has been put forth in that particular paragraph using a couple of words is usually more than enough. Is usually more than enough. For example, in this first paragraph, the author, the three won the Nobel Prize, and why have they been awarded this Nobel Prize, and who are those three scientists, right? That's what this first paragraph is about. Let's come to the second paragraph. Black holes are perhaps the most mysterious and powerful objects in astronomy. They are at the center of every galaxy, and small ones are dotted around the universe. Okay, nothing can escape their incredible gravity, and they are the ultimate cosmic dead end. Black holes, because they are so hard to understand, is what makes them so appealing. Giz told Tuesday morning. I really think of science as a big giant puzzle, right? So the second paragraph, as you can see, it was mainly about the description of black holes, right? I can just write black holes description, right? So I'll just write in the very short connotations, right? Okay, what this was about. First one was about the Nobel Prize awards, right? Prize awardees. All right. Right. So first paragraph talks about that. Second paragraph talks about that. Let's come to the next one. Uh, Penrose proved with mathematics that the formation of black holes was possible, based heavily on Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. Einstein did not himself believe capture everything that enters them, the committee said. Nothing can escape, not even light. Martin noted that Penrose triggered a renaissance in relativity in the 1960s, and that together with the young Stephen Hawking, he helped firm up evidence for the Big Bang and black holes. Penrose and Hawking are the two individuals who have done more than anyone else since Einstein to deepen our knowledge of gravity. Rees said. Sadly, this award to allow Hawking to share the credit. To allow Hawking to share the credit. Okay, right. So basically, the third paragraph tells you about talks about how what exactly were the contributions by uh, by Penrose, right? Penrose and Hawkins. And Hawkins, I'm not going to write the whole thing. I'm just going to, just take it. Next part. It wasn't until the 1990s that Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Ghez, each leading a group of astronomers, a region called Sagittarius A, where something strange was going on. They both found that the invisible object, there was an extremely on the jumble of stars, causing them black holes. In 2009, image of a black hole and praised the discovery. Critical to the building blocks of the universe, Guest told an audience at the Royal Swedish did or can be inferred from and mentions of and found in works of science fiction. Okay, first one. Second, the black hole, as per the passage, is the most exotic object in the universe. Third, according to the author, statements are either stated and can be inferred. Forget this. The author has said that one of the most exotic objects in the universe, which are the black holes. So the black holes are one of the most exotic objects. They are not the most exotic objects, right? There's a big difference between these two ideas. To say that something like to say that the most. and to say that something is the most exotic object are two different ideas, and that's why this option cannot be inferred. It will be incorrect to infer this. Okay. Next, mentions of and references to black holes are often found in are not often found in works of science fiction. Let's go back to the point of reference again. Look at this, which have black holes which have become a staple of science fact and science fiction. They have become a staple of science fact and science fiction. What does that mean? That means simply means that that black holes are being talked about, and there are even in science fiction, be it in the form of movies, be it in the form of novels, books, any of the forms of fiction, basically. Black holes always find a mention, right? Staple means they are a regular. They find a regular mention in the science facts and science fictions, right? So that's why this has like the option in the question says just the opposite. It says just the opposite. It says that mentions of and references to black holes aren't often found in works of science fiction. So this is a problem here, right? So they are actually found and mentioned in the works of science fiction, which is what the passage says. Correct. So you can eliminate option one as well. Let's come to option number three. According to the author, time may seem to stand still near a black hole. Time may seem to stand still near a black hole. Fair. Let's go back to the passage again. Look at what he says here. When where time seems to stand still, according to the committee. So guys, we need to note here. देखो, uh, the opinion of the author might need not necessarily always be the same as the opinion of any other person who is mentioned in the passage. Okay, what does this say? This says that time seems to stand still. That's fair. Time seems to stand still. That's given here. Fair enough. But it has also been mentioned that this is something that is true according to the committee, and it is probably the Nobel Prize committee, the committee for deciding the Nobel Prize is probably that. But that's anyways irrelevant. What is relevant here is that it's not necessarily the view of the author. So you cannot infer from this. आप इसमें से ये infer नहीं कर सकते. You cannot infer from this that according to the author, the time may seem to stand still near a black hole, right? So hence, even this cannot be inferred from the passage. None of these three statements are either stated or can be inferred from the passage, and hence your answer has to be the fourth option, which will be none of the above. Okay, I hope you are clear about the question. Let's go to the next question. Mark which of the following statements can be considered true in the light of the passage. Okay, first statement. So you need to mark the true statements. Okay, the first statement says the phenomena of stars going around black holes at the center of galaxies wasn't documented until 1990s. Let's go back to the point of reference. So the point of reference is right here, guys. It wasn't until the 1990s that Reinhard Genzel and Andreas Ghez, each leading a group of astronomers, trained their sights on the dust-covered center of our Milky Way galaxy, a region called Sagittarius, etc., 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 where something strange was going on, and that strange activity that was going on was basically a black hole which around which revolved a, 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 a many number of